After months of silence, tense negotiations, and endless rumors, the news has finally broken. George Russell has officially signed a new contract with Mercedes. But behind that polished press release lies a story that's far more complex than it appears. A story about loyalty, power, and the harsh reality of Formula One, where even the best drivers can never feel entirely safe. Because while Mercedes celebrates its driver lineup stability for 2026, the fine print of Russell's new deal might just reveal a shocking truth: that he's being kept on standby, while Mercedes quietly keeps the door open for Max Verstappen. Let's break down what's really happening. Mercedes made the big reveal just 6 races before the end of the 2025 season. They confirmed that both George Russell and Andrea "Kimi" Antonelli will continue as their driver lineup for 2026. On the surface, this sounds like great news, a sign of confidence and continuity. But for those who've been following the whispers in the paddock, something about this announcement didn't sit right. The press release never mentioned how long Russell's contract would actually last. It simply said, beyond 2026. No end date, no specific term. Just vague wording, and that vagueness wasn't an accident. According to the race, the deal actually extends into 2027, but Mercedes intentionally avoided saying so publicly. Why? Because they don't want to be tied down if a certain 4-time world champion, Max Verstappen, becomes available that year. This is Formula One politics at its finest. For George Russell, this deal represents both triumph and compromise. On one hand, he secured what every F1 driver dreams of: a multi-year contract with one of the most iconic teams in motorsport history. He's now reportedly earning around $30 million per year, making him the 3rd highest paid driver on the grid, behind only Verstappen and Hamilton. But on the other hand, the paycheck comes with strings attached. Russell has been fighting for this deal for months. He wanted long-term security, but he didn't have many other options. Red Bull wasn't available, Ferrari was locked in, and the other teams, like Alpine or Racing Bulls, weren't even close to Mercedes' level. Russell needed Mercedes more than Mercedes needed Russell. And in F1, that's a dangerous place to be. So, if Russell didn't get total job security, what did he get instead? He got control over something that matters just as much: his time. One of the key points in his new deal is a sharp reduction in sponsor appearances and PR events. For years, drivers like Lewis Hamilton have talked about the toll that endless off-track obligations take on performance. Russell took notes. In his old deal, he was expected to fly halfway around the world for brand appearances just hours after grueling races. Take Singapore, for example. Just 12 hours after winning there 2 weeks ago, he was already in Kuala Lumpur for a Petronas event. Now, those days are over. His new contract limits the number and location of sponsor duties. Russell has made it clear: recovery and focus come before PR. He's adopting the same mindset Hamilton had in his later Mercedes years, prioritizing rest, mental clarity, and longevity. To Russell, lifestyle management is just as vital as a new rear wing or tire upgrade. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff tried to downplay the delay, saying the deal was always a matter of when, not if. But behind that calm exterior, the truth is that these negotiations were anything but simple. Wolff knows what's coming. The 2026 season will bring massive regulation changes, new engines, new chassis rules, and potentially a complete power reshuffle. Back in 2014, Mercedes mastered those changes and dominated for nearly a decade. They're betting on doing it again. So Wolff's message to Russell is clear: you've earned your seat for 2026, but after that, everything depends on results. And that's where the pressure kicks in. To be fair, Russell has earned this deal through hard work and results. 2025 has been his most complete season yet. 2 victories in Canada and Singapore, 8 podiums, and he's outperformed his rookie teammate, Antonelli, by a staggering margin, 237 points to 88. He even finished second in Azerbaijan while battling illness. Proof of the grit, and Russell's 2025 season has shown everything Mercedes hoped for: calm under pressure, clinical racing, and relentless determination. He's become the face of Mercedes' post-Hamilton era. But despite his rise, Mercedes still doesn't see him as untouchable. One name continues to loom over his future: Max Verstappen. With Red Bull facing internal turmoil, Toto Wolff has made it clear he'd sign the reigning champion in 2027 if he could. That's why Russell's deal is worded so carefully. It extends beyond 2026, but not too far. Mercedes wants stability now and flexibility later. In simple terms, George Russell may lead the team today, but he's still living under Verstappen's shadow. It's a familiar story. Just like Lewis Hamilton before his move to Ferrari, Russell wanted long-term security, but Toto Wolff offered control instead, keeping his options open, just as he always does. Ironically, Russell has managed to secure a slightly better deal than Hamilton, but the lack of clarity about its full duration shows Mercedes is still hesitant to make another long-term promise. It's the modern Mercedes way: protect flexibility, even if it means losing a legend. Everything now comes down to 2026. That's when Formula One enters a brand new era with redesigned power units and aerodynamic rules. And early reports suggest Mercedes is ahead of schedule, possibly the frontrunner heading into that season. If their car is fast, Russell could finally have the shot at a world championship that's eluded him since his debut. He's proven he can win races, lead a team, and handle the pressure. But to cement his legacy, he needs that title. Because make no mistake, if Mercedes delivers a championship-winning car and Russell doesn't win it, that flexibility in his contract will suddenly become very convenient for Toto Wolff. We can't overlook Andrea "Kimi" Antonelli, Russell's young Italian teammate. At just 19, he's one of the most hyped prospects in F1, but his rookie season has been rough. 4 retirements and far fewer points. Still, Mercedes believes in him. They see Antonelli as their future, the driver who could lead them through the next decade. That's another reason why Russell's contract was written so cautiously. Mercedes wants to give Antonelli time to grow, but if he develops faster than expected, they'll make room to reshuffle. Russell's leadership is strong, but in Formula One, nothing lasts forever. Right now, he stands at the peak of his career, respected, well-paid, and leading one of the greatest teams in history. Yet, behind closed doors, Mercedes is planning for multiple futures. One with Russell as their champion, and another with Verstappen or Antonelli taking his place. The balance could shift in a heartbeat, and Russell knows it. Every lap, every win, every mistake, it all counts. Because next season will decide everything. Whether he becomes the face of a new Mercedes dynasty or just a placeholder in their transition plan. This isn't just a contract story. It's the story of a dream. A young driver who rose through Mercedes' ranks, waited years at Williams, and finally earned his shot at glory. Now, he has it all: money, fame, power. But under one condition: keep winning, or you're replaceable. So where does this leave George Russell? If he brings Mercedes back to the top in 2026, this deal will mark the start of his legacy. If not, it might be remembered as the year Mercedes quietly started preparing for Max Verstappen. George Russell has the talent and discipline to be world champion. The only question is, will Mercedes give him the car and time to prove it? Because in Formula One, even loyalty has an expiration date. What do you think? Did Russell make the right move, or should he have pushed for more security? Let us know below, and don't miss our next video, where we reveal how Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari changed Formula One forever.